Welcome to the Extraordinary Yoga Teacher Summit, created by Great Energy. My name is Christopher, and I'm honored to be co-hosting the summit with Daniela Hess. The Extraordinary Yoga Teacher Summit is here to uplift and empower yoga teachers with the depth, steadiness, and skill that transform students' lives. Today's session is with our featured teacher, Lauren Rudick, whose wisdom and experience offer so much to this path. Internationally celebrated instructor Lauren Rudick has let her love of yoga take her around the world. She has studied, taught, and practiced yoga across 6 continents and over 50 countries. Lauren has been teaching yoga for well over a decade, inspiring tens of thousands to live passionately with authenticity and joy. She has been featured in many media outlets, including the Daily Mail, Women's Health, Evoke, Get Out There, Dysfunction, Optimize, and more. Her outspoken honesty and commitment to truth have landed her as a guest on dozens of podcasts and radio shows from Atlanta to Australia. Lauren's greatest achievement yet has been founding and directing Yoga Academy International, a revolutionary yoga school. Her goal in creating this institution is to raise the standard of yoga education. It worked, and Yoga Academy International is now one of the most highly recognized and respected yoga institutions worldwide. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Lauren, let's dive in by talking about the yoga teacher's voice, finding their voice as a yoga teacher.
Daniela, I'm really glad you brought this up because this is actually a workshop that I would love to create as part of like all the things you need after training package. So this is what I like to tell my students. Make your mess your message. A lot of my students in their 200-hour training and beyond, they're starting to run retreats perhaps, or just asking me for business help or yoga teaching help. They say like, I don't even know what to teach or share. Like, what do I even have to say? And I think this imposter syndrome is something a lot of us have. But no matter where you are in life, you have been through something. We have all been through a challenge. We have all overcome something. We have all been through a hard time. And I think as teachers, we teach the best way is to teach from experience. And we share with people who are currently where we used to be. So whatever I have gone through to get to where I am now, therein my message lies.
And in your experience, what do you see as some of the barriers that yoga teachers experience in finding their voice?
Again, I think imposter syndrome is a lot of it, or being shy, or feeling like, is what I have to say more valuable than anyone else? But like, again, that is not true. We each have our own voice, our own vocabulary, our own method and means and media for sharing our stories. And I think that if we can have the opportunity to just like inspire or touch one person with our voice, that is something, right? So I think the barrier really is just like a shyness or even an insecurity of a who am I imposter syndrome. But I think we just need to get over that because we all have an independent vocabulary for which to share our message, and somebody will hear those words and resonate with them. You know, I read the gamut of self-help books, and they all kind of say the same thing, but one will click and another one won't. And it's because of the voice of the author, because of the vocabulary used to share it.
So if someone listening to us right now is feeling that the aliveness of, okay, make my mess my message, and yet there's that shyness or that they've never taken those next steps, how would you guide someone as the simple next best steps for them to start to break through and connect more deeply with their authentic voice?
I think like going back to journals is a wonderful thing if you've ever journaled or if you write things down for yourself, like just seeing what you went through. Where were you 6 months ago? Another activity I like to do with my students is just very simple. Take a piece of paper and write down, who am I? What do I do? And you just take a few mindful deep breaths and you go to a place that's quiet and calm and take a big piece of paper and just answer that question. Who am I? What do I do? And you can also ask yourself, who was I 3 months ago and what was I doing? And maybe in that gap, you find the message.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You have had the privilege of training many yoga teachers over the years. And I wonder if we could talk a little bit about through your lens of expertise, what are some of the qualities that you would say these are essential qualities that an extraordinary yoga teacher cultivate for themselves?
I would say passion and authenticity. The most successful yoga teachers I know are ones that care deeply about their message, their story, their way of teaching, and they're completely true to who they are and honest and authentic about it. Um, Anybody who knows me or who has taken a training with me or a yoga retreat with me knows like I'm 100% transparent and I'm just like 100% myself. And not everybody's going to like that, and that's okay. Have you liked every meal you've ever tasted in your life? Probably not. We all have different flavors that we enjoy with people, places, things, meals, experiences. And I think the more authentically we can communicate our own stories and our own message and our passion for the work that we do, the more we can magnetically attract the people that will be like really into it. And it won't be for everyone, but that's okay. Um, I took a marketing course once and they said, if you're for everyone, you're for no one, right? Get specific. Who are you talking to? And my favorite, most beloved yoga teachers are that way because they have just been completely true to who they are.
Okay, so we have authenticity as an essential quality. What's another quality that you would say, this is important that extraordinary yoga teachers continue to cultivate blank?
Yeah, passion. Like I spoke about passion just earlier, like love what you do and teach what you love. Because when that passion wanes, it's pretty clear. And I've again like worked with teachers where like they're just like, this is something cool that I'm into right now. Let me share it. And I really appreciate that. So yeah, I would say authenticity and passion are very important and continuing to learn and to grow, a constant curiosity is so important. We're never done learning, especially in yoga. One of the things I love about the yoga world and about yoga is that like there's just no end to what's out there that I've found. Like I've gone deep and deep and deep and deep and deep for the last 20 years. Like there's still more. There's still more to learn. There's still more to try. There's new breath work, new kriyas, a new explanation or interpretation of the sutra that I haven't seen, a book I haven't read, a lecture I haven't heard from a Swami far, far away who has a new perspective on the Gita. These kinds of things. So the constant curiosity is also really important.
And you've been involved in the yoga industry for many, many years. Through your lens, what are you seeing currently in the field, in the industry of yoga that has you feel like absolutely so positive and if, like filled with hope and wonder? And are there any areas that you think, ooh, we want to really pay attention to this and bring this back?
I would say that's a bit of a tough question for me to answer. We were touching on this just earlier in our conversation. I think something to watch is that there are an overabundance, in my opinion, right now of yoga teacher trainings out there. I'm finding so many teachers are producing trainings because they feel like they need to in order to earn a living as a yoga teacher or perhaps to legitimize themselves as a yoga teacher. But we're seeing teachers with less and less experience produce trainings. And I think we need to be wary about that. If we're asking someone to share with us this like ancient bed of wisdom, how much experience they actually have working with knowledge, with that wisdom, with those teachings. And I think we should be cautious of teachers who are offering teacher training when they're quite new to the world of yoga. So I will say that one thing that is making me hopeful and excited is that yoga festivals are coming back. We had a break from yoga festivals for a really long time. And I am like a festival junkie of yoga festivals. This is also where I got my start. I got my start at Wanderlust Festival many years ago. And last summer I taught at three great yoga festivals. And it's just the best time. Like it's a place where people of like minds and like passions and like excitement come together in great spaces to learn and to grow and to have a dance party. And that's what's making me like really hopeful and excited is to see the yoga festivals coming back again because there was a big pause for a while globally with them.
When you think back to how yoga first found you, what was it that initially just rocked your world about about yoga?
What a fun question. So I actually have a podcast where I share my full story. But in short, I started going to yoga because I was in university. Actually, well, yeah, so I was in college and I joined a gym and it just happened to fit into my schedule. And I was like, oh, I guess it's a workout. I'll try this yoga thing. I'll never forget my first class. It was what I now know to be a power yoga class. And I walked in and it was a candlelit room and I felt so empowered in my body and so graceful. And it was also so hard. And I'd never in my life felt this experience like I was dancing. And I'm not a dancer by any means. So I'm not a graceful. I'm like a yoga savant. When people see me practice yoga, they think I'm so graceful. And then you see me walk down the street and realize I am the clumsiest person alive. And so that was like, I just felt strong and graceful in that moment. And also, like, it was really hard. It was a modality and a new way of moving my body that I hadn't experienced. And it just sort of blew me away. I think for most people that happens. Um, and then I got home, I was super sore. And my mom saw me like on the couch, like kind of shaking. And she was like, what happened to you? And I said, oh, I went to a yoga class. And she goes, I don't think it was very good for you. I forbid you from ever going to yoga again. And so I was like, fuck that, I'm going tomorrow. I forbid you. I had to go. I was like a teenager. I was 18 or 19. Anyway, and so the next time I went to yoga was a different class. It was like a bit of a slower pace. And the teacher was talking about mindfulness and breath, and I had never heard that before. And I think what blew me away is that yoga made me feel safe in my skin as a young woman. And that's such a gift. It's such a gift, and that's how I got into it. And to be honest, again, for those who know my story, you'll know more about this, but just a little snippet of it is that I had never intended to be a yoga teacher. I didn't think it was a thing. I didn't know anything about yoga. I didn't know there was an industry of yoga or any of that. I didn't even know about trainings. I ended up going to yoga teacher training because right at the end of my college years, I got dumped and I was so heartbroken that I wanted to run away. And my yoga teacher said, Lauren, why don't you go and become a yoga teacher? It's like, why would I do that? No one's a yoga teacher. And she's like, you love yoga. You're good at it. Go be a yoga teacher. And and I had been practicing for 5 years at that point, and I just typed into Google how to be a yoga teacher. And 200-hour trainings came up and whatever. And I found this training that was in Mexico, and we lived in tents on the beach. There was no Wi-Fi, no electricity, no phones. It was vegan. And I said, this is really going to fuck with my head, and I won't be able to stalk my ex-boyfriend on Facebook. And that is the only reason that I went, was so that I could get over this breakup without like trying to contact my ex. And it changed my life forever. So I am beyond grateful for him for dumping me because it led to my life now.
Wow, that is the best time out to put yourself in. Like, oh, that is such a great story. Wow. Our life journeys never cease to amaze me. They're really miraculous. Um, so Lauren, thank you for sharing that. We always invite the following question at the end of our conversations. And so just take a moment and imagine that the following broadcast will be received from your heart right into the hearts of all 2 million yoga teachers on the planet right now. And so with that, we invite you to share a message, transmission, a blessing, whatever you'd like, heart to heart.
I would just say, I love you and you can do this. Keep going.
Thank you. That was tattoo worthy.
Thank you.
Lauren, it's really been a pleasure to be with you today and with all of you here with us. And and please make sure you click below, friends. And Lauren has a really cool gift. Before we go, can you tell everyone about the free gift below?
Sure. It's a intentions and reflections journal. Some of you might be listening to this towards the beginning of the year, but you can do it anytime. I don't believe in this new year, new you, or New Year's resolutions. Any day you can wake up and choose to make your life better. Any day you can choose to be the first day of the rest of your life. You know, today is the first day of the rest of your life. So is tomorrow. So with that said, I have created an intention and reflections journal. It invites you to reflect on your past year and set intentions for the following coming year. I do it every year. I use my own journal. Um, it's it's 15 pages. It's not small, but it contains all kinds of prompts to help you reflect on what was positive, what you'd like to change going into next year, how you would like to grow, what your biggest growth was from the year before, what your goals might be for the upcoming year. So I hope you really enjoy that and find it valuable.
Love a good prompt. So thank you.
Me too. That's why I did it. I needed it.
Yeah, there's nothing
Make
like
your
a
best
good
your message.
Yes, there's nothing like a good question or a series of good questions. So please, friends, make sure you scoop up that really generous gift. And Lauren, thank you so much. And we appreciate your contribution so much to the Extraordinary Yoga Teacher Summit. And friends, we look forward to see you at our next talk.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye for now.